Oh, what a lovely day it is out today. I've got my window open. You might hear my critters talking every once in a while. And I am in the kitchen baking up lots of delicious things. But first, my friendship starter needs Fred. Hey, friendship starter, what is that anyway? Well, if you haven't figured it out, I've been on this several month-long journey of baking with Amish Friendship Starter. It's kind of like a sweet sourdough, and I've been having so much fun with it. So much fun that my friend Renee, who came up with this idea, she and I decided that this month we're going to co-host Friendship Fridays, where all of you can either send us a picture or post a video every Friday, and we're going to share that out for Friendship Fridays. And you can get lots of great ideas of recipes of things that you can do with Amish Friendship Starter that might not be your ordinary, typical I've done that before recipe. So come along with me. Let's feed the starter and separate it out. So this is day 10 for me. And you can kind of see that it looks a little foamy and bubbly. Trust me, underneath you really can tell it has come up quite a bit. And yeah, so now it's time to give it a good feed. And I need to give, actually on this day, we give 1.5 cups instead of a cup on day 10. So there's 1 cup. And 1/2 of the milk. We'll do the same for our flour. So there's 1/2 cup. Plus 1 cup. And sugar. So on day 6, you give it 1 cup. Day 10, you give it 1.5 cups. So this is a 1/2 cup measurement. And 3. So we're going to go ahead and just get in here and try to break up any clumps and mix this up. See how, I don't know if you can see how bubbly and foamy this is underneath. Oh, it's a happy, happy starter. Now, usually on the day that I feed it, whether it be 6 or 10, there is always a little bit of clumping in here, and that's totally normal. Don't get too worried about it, because when you bake with it, if you put it in a mixer, it's usually going to break up any of those clumps. But I do my best to mix it up, especially on day 10. I really don't worry about it on day 6. I have a couple different recipes I'm going to be working with today. So one of them calls for 1/2 cup. So I'm going to set this aside, and then I also want to make another recipe today that calls for 1 cup of starter. So next I want to kind of clean my sides up a bit, and then I'm going to tuck this back away so we have it to work with later in the week. Now, I have quite a bit of starter in here now that I've had this going for a while. A lot of times they'll say to measure out just 1 cup and start over on day 10, making that day 1. But I just kind of keep a continuous pot going here until I get way too much, because I know I'm going to want to bake some other things with this. So this way I can bake throughout the week, whether it's been fresh fed or not. Have you ever heard of using Amish Friendship Starter to make granola bars? Me either. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make my version of Chewy Granola bars using Amish Friendship Starter and some other unique ingredients. First thing I wanted to do is grab 2 bowls. They have one for your liquid ingredients and one for your dry. I will admit the recipe I'm getting from suggests that the banana is a dry ingredient. I'm having a little bit of a hard time with that, but I'm going to go with it. That's what it says to do. Did you know that before I was a YouTuber, I actually was a blogger? Yep, I did. I have reopened my blog, and I'm going to try my best to start putting content there again, including the recipe for today's video. Check the description box to see how I did this, or you can go over to the Amish Friendship Starter website where you'll find the recipe I got inspiration from. First, we need to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. It says to line an 8x8 casserole dish. But because I'm doubling it, I am using my bar pan today. Spray the pan, then put down the sheet, then spray the sheet. Our medium-sized mixing bowl, we're gonna go ahead and combine the dry ingredients, including the banana. Consider to be ripe, not overripe, but ripe bananas. Do you like banana recipes? Well, check out, I will have more videos with more banana recipes to come next week. I like to use my avocado masher to mash my bananas. Actually, I use it to make egg salad and all kinds of things. This thing just comes in real handy. It calls for 2 cups of rolled oats. Well, I don't have a lot of oats in the house right now, but I do have this. This is that granola that we had got on that good deal. And I had all those boxes that I realized after I purchased it how many were in the box. Well, now is going to be the perfect time to put these to use. So I'm going to do exact measurements for my rolled oats for this instead. Well, that was perfect. We're going to add some salt. Some cinnamon. And they said figs or dates. I'm going to start out with the figs and see how far I get with that. I don't know if I have any dates or not. These figs have been open and need used. They're starting to crystallize on the outside, but ooh, they are so good. I love figs. What about you? Do you like figs or would you rather have dates? Some golden raisins. All right, next we're going to move on to our nuts and seeds. I have just a few of these raw sunflower seeds. I'm going to go ahead and get those used up. I bought this bag of these dry roasted and lightly salted almonds. We do not like them to just eat on. So I thought these might be good to use inside a recipe because we're just not eating them. So you can see that we have all different sizes of chop in here. Some of them are pretty rough. And it looks like that's going to be about right. That worked out good. Absolutely, if you prefer walnuts or pecans, use any kind of nut you want. Oh, I forgot. I also want to add in some pumpkin seed. I have these that I'd gotten on a sale. Another name for pumpkin seeds is pepitas. And so we're going to add a scoop of those in there too. A good, delicious granola bar, in my opinion, has to have chocolate. I'm going to go ahead and grab these mini, oops, you're only supposed to put a fork up. The mini chocolate chips. I think that they'll disperse better if I use those. Okay, now that is all of the supposed dry ingredients. To me, that's weird having the banana in here. My heart of hearts tells me I shouldn't have. Maybe this gets a more even coating. I don't know. Let's move on to the wet ingredients. We need 1/2 of a cup of Amish Friendship Starter. I just realized we doubled this, so I need to get another 1/2 cup. I just warmed up my honey because it had started to crystallize. And you can do that by putting it in some hot water and let it kind of warm up slowly. You don't want to microwave honey because that will take away all those wonderful nutrient properties that we like in honey. I'm going to turn this bear upside down is what I'll do. And I bet I'll finish that off to get a half a cup. And we'll go ahead and put it in here. Because I don't have any more honey, I'm going to actually use maple syrup. For my other half of the liquid sweetener. Turn this upside down to get the last little bit to make it that half cup. I could see another alternative of using molasses or sorghum and mix those in there. And in a pinch, you can also use white corn syrup. Now, in the directions it says vanilla, but it doesn't have how much or to use any. So, like my typical vanilla usage, I'm just going to put some in there. And now I want to mix this up really well. And now all we have to do is mix the two ingredients. Okay, now that this is mixed well, I'm going to go ahead and pour this in my pan. I'm going to show you a trick. I do this with Rice Krispie treats too, where I spray my hand, and just to make sure I've got that packed in really tight, I'm going to push it down with my hands. And if I keep spraying with the spray, it would keep it from sticking to my hand. Into the oven it goes. You can see it's kind of brown around the edges. Oh, I'm so excited about this. Oh, it smells amazing in this house. Amazing. Our granola bars have sit out for about 30 minutes, 30-ish minutes. So, fully cooked. They're still warm. I'm going to take them out of the pan, and we're going to cut them before they completely cool. So I think it's going to be a little more difficult to cut them when they're cooled off. I have just a small amount that had fallen off one of the pieces, so we're going to give this a taste test. Yes. Yes. I can tell they're going to be chewy. And this is the first really, truly chewy granola bar that I have made. I've tried making granola. Oh, it's so good. I just keep finding a nipple here and there. When it's warm like this, I really like the four on the end because they are a bit crunchy and they're sweet. This is a recipe that I plan to continue to make. I'm a big granola bar fan, and I really like the ones with all the nuts and everything, but I like them to be a little soft. I don't like the super dry, super crunchy. I'll probably individually wrap these and put them in the fridge just to keep them fresh, just because it's that time of year where storms are blowing in, and so we get humidity. I like to have my windows open. In the dead of winter, I'm sure it would be fine to leave on the counter for several days, but just because I made such a big batch, I'm going to probably store these in the fridge. You absolutely could put them in the freezer, bring them out, set them out overnight, and have them ready for breakfast or for the kids to take in their school lunches. This is a good recipe. You need to try it. Now make sure you check out that playlist to see what everyone else posted for their Friendship Friday recipes. I'll have it in the description below. Bye for now, friends.